Hello and welcome to the biggest and most expensive review that I have ever done. Because what sits beside me is the brand new 2026 BMW 760i xDrive. Under the hood, it's got a 4.4 liter twin-powered M V8 engine, putting out 523 horsepower, all while sitting on top of a wonderful ride with air suspension, while also feeling like a tank, but feels like a cloud to drive. It is an incredible car with over $20,000 worth of options, and today I have the incredible honor of showing you all it has to offer. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Really quickly before the video starts, I do just want to say this is not my car and I have no affiliation with it. I was just allowed to be driven in it throughout the whole weekend. It's not mine and I have no association with the car whatsoever. I just wanted to make a review on it. Now to the video.
Alright, let's begin with the front of this car, as it's probably the most controversial part about the 7 Series. I'm going to start with the positives. I like how the BMW logo is placed up here, right where it begins to kind of slant upwards towards the roof. It's got a nice long bonnet in the front here, and frankly, I just think that part has always looked nice and continues to on this model as well. And I have to say, I've always been a fan of these kind of two designed headlights where the actual light's down here and then there's this daytime running light up here. I do think BMW did a nice job with these, as these are kind of like the crystal headlights up here in the front for the daytime running lights. They look cool, and you know what, they're fun, and they have this nice kind of L shape in them. I don't know, I think they did a cool job with that, and frankly, I do like that. It does match the X7, so it's always nice to see. And coming to the actual front, I will say the one thing I like about this is the lights around it, which just turned off. But as you can see, they come on, and they are on at night. It does add a cool little effect to them, but frankly, I don't want to kind of point this part out with those lights, so for that reason I also kind of don't like it. What is nice though is BMW is not faking out here. Off to the side, you do get real air vents that blow air into the wells of the wheels, which is nice, and then you got your nice LED headlights up here, and down below you got a good sense of air intakes, and then you got your big sensor for the driver assistance. You also do get a front-facing camera, and I believe a washer in front of it, so if it gets a little dirty, you can go ahead and spray that. But overall, it isn't that bad. It kind of looks like a polar bear in my opinion, but I don't know. It's not too bad. I do like these little front fins, or whatever you want to call them right there, those blades. But it's an interesting looking car, but I do think the front is the only part that genuinely doesn't look that great. Let's move on to the side. So moving on to the side here of the car, I just want to talk about the presence of this thing because, wow. This is a long car. It's a boat. Many people can probably argue that it is, and I am one who agrees with that. It's huge. I'm not quite sure on the exact length of it. I'll put it on the screen here, but it's a long car. However, I do think the side looks pretty good, especially with these wheels on it. They're not bad. They're 20-inch rims. I'll talk more about them later. But from this angle, it's got a sporty, full-size sedan look to it. The front of it, there's not too much going on the side panel right here. The rims look nice, the tires look nice, it fits nicely in the wells. Really, I like it a lot, and the side reflector is probably the only thing I dislike, and that line right there is a little strange, but that's okay. Overall, I think it just looks very nice from the side. The door handles, I mean, they're a little interesting. As you can see when we come up to them, there's a few options. Pretty sure if you swipe this, it'll lock the car. And then if you swipe it up, or just tap it, I guess. Okay, it locks the car. Doesn't unlock it. But go ahead and click that, it locks the car. And then under here, you obviously have your normal handle that pops the door out. And then you can pull it open manually. But if you're too good for that and paid the money for this option, you get this button right here, which when you click it and there's nothing in the way, oh yeah, powered doors, baby. Front, and of course, the rear. Oh yeah. I think that's like the coolest thing. Then you can just obviously click it once you're inside. Those will close nicely. I do want to demonstrate though, that if there is something in the way in front of it, if I click this button, you'll see it will not hit me. There are sensors down below, I believe, that can sense, obviously, if it's about to hit something. And I do believe there's one right there on the actual door. But as soon as I move out of the way, it should start to open. Oh, maybe not. So you'll have to do the rest of that your way. And while we're technically talking about the exterior, BMW has done this for a while now, but inside, underneath where the door seals sit, there is always a model designation. So any car you have, it will say what model designation it is. So the 7 Series obviously gets a 7. And coming down to the end of the car here, I've always liked the slant right here. It actually does look kind of sporty, despite being such a luxurious vehicle. But I like it. I think it looks good, and frankly, not too much going on. It just looks like a nice car. And also on the side here, I'll count it, the rear taillight has the BMW logo inside of there. Not the actual logo, but it has BMW written inside of there, and it kind of lights up with the taillight. The wheels don't flare out too much here, but there's definitely some flare right there, as you can kind of see. It looks kind of cool, and I do like that. However, the reflector kind of looks, yeah, it's all right. What I will give to the car that I like that BMW does is the self-centering caps. So as you can see, I can spin that, do whatever I want with that. And the BMW logo will always stay upright. And obviously, BMW owns Rolls-Royce, and Rolls-Royce does a great job at that. Other car companies like Audi, I have seen roll out more and more of their centering caps on their wheels. And I have always thought BMW, obviously owning Rolls-Royce, which does the best job, has always done a good job themselves as well. And I do want to talk one more little feature coming down inside of the rims. You do get a nice M logo on those black brake calipers, which are some big discs, and I believe those might be 6-piston calipers in the front, probably 2-piston calipers in the rear. So, very nice setup on the side. They nailed it with that. And of course, last but not least, the rear of this car. It's actually my favorite part. It all kind of comes together and looks fairly nice. So one of my favorite things are these new taillights. BMW's taillights have kind of felt old school with more so outdated technology. These have some nice LEDs in them, so no pixels, just solid looking red lines, and I think they look great. They're nice and thin while still being very wide, kind of showing off the huge width of this car as well. I think they look great. They're simple, not too complicating, and overall are just nice. I also am a big fan of this big BMW logo in the back, which this center, I believe, pops out and will clean the camera right there, which is also a cool feature. Still getting your badges here as well. I feel like I see more and more car companies just getting rid of their badges, but still get 760i and the xDrive badge, which I believe on the newer M3 models with xDrive, they have actually gotten rid of that, which is interesting. But coming up to the top here, you still get a little mini spoiler that I believe is somewhat functional. You get a rear glass, which I think has a special privacy tint on it. Off to the sides here, you do get those little reflectors on both sides. The license plate has a nice housing. I do think the little cutout looks pretty nice, and it kind of ties everything together. But my least favorite part are the exhaust tips. Despite being a V8, and I do think it sounds pretty good, which I'll show in a second, they are fake. They are not quad exhaust tips, because if you see way in there, there's just one little tip. So they're technically dual output, but I have seen that Audi has started to just go away from this idea and actually make them real, and I've seen more and more companies do this. BMW needs to do that too, because it's a great feature to have real exhaust pipes, because these are weird. They don't look good, and frankly, I don't care for them, and I don't think anybody does. Let's talk about the trunk, and let's go to the inside after. Alright, coming into the trunk of the 7 Series. Don't be surprised, but it's not very big. Go ahead and hold the button down on the key fob, and oh wow, holy cow, that's actually pretty big. So looking more closely at the trunk here, it's 19.1 cubic feet, which is this in liters, and this in square something. Just kidding. So, it's actually a fairly big trunk. It's huge. I'm stunned by how big it is, and just to show you how big it actually is, but I'm going to get in it and show you that it's actually a big trunk. I'm 5'10", and I literally can sit like this. That's how wide this car. I don't have very long legs though. Hopefully I don't get caught on anything. But this is how big it is. You can fit, or more so, like 4 suitcases. I'm a changed man. Oh, Jesus. You're planning on... I probably shouldn't say that. Not terrible. I'm not going to say it was the most comfortable thing in the world because what's on the inside absolutely mugs what's back here. You also do get 2 hooks off to the side here, which I've actually never seen before, but it's kind of cool. So with that 19.1 cubic foot trunk, let's move on to the inside. Getting into this car is tremendous. It is probably one of the most easy and just nice cars to get into. I love it. And if you're too inconvenienced to either click the button on the dashboard right here or reach and grab the handle, there's a third option. You can put your foot onto the brake like a Tesla, push it down, and the door shuts. So what's it like sitting here in the driver's seat of the BMW 760i? The first thing you'll notice if there's no radio playing is it's silent. When I was being driven in it, I turned the radio off just to listen to the sound of the V8 roar, and I couldn't even do that. They've detuned it to make it seem less loud, still producing as much horsepower as it normally would, but it's just so elegant. And of course, the sound dampening in here is exquisite. It is truly a nice place to be. And I have to say the driving position is just incredible. The steering wheel is nice and thick and squishy, nice leather feeling. Oh my god, it is just incredible. And with this car, it has a ton of packages, which I'll go over in a second, but some of which is the executive package. So that includes all these crystal dials, and everything just looks so beautiful here. It also has a $5,000 option, which is the Bowers & Wilkins Diamond surround sound system. So as you can see, you can actually see inside the speakers there are lights lighting them up, and the sound system is, obviously it's Bowers & Wilkins, so it's going to sound great, and it is truly great. Let's listen to it now. Alright, we've got a song loaded up here. I'm going to be quiet, I'm just going to turn that up. We can even go into sound here, and we got a few sound profiles. We'll go to studio, which will change the way it sounds. We got concert, on rear, and on stage. We'll do on stage. We also got immersive sound settings, so I have the 3Ds turned up all the way. 40 bass allows there to be basses in the speaker to enhance. So as all this is playing, I can feel it, and I'm just gonna let you listen. Bass is incredible. So I'm gonna pause that there. There we go. And I'm also gonna do one more thing to show you the sound, is click experience the sound. So this is a Bowers & Wilkins pre-recorded video that just shows you the capabilities of the sound system. This sound system is, in my opinion, it's worth $5,000. I love good sound systems in a car, and frankly, this is really incredible. There are also speakers in the headrest. Like I said, there's more speakers in the seat. You get a bunch in the door panels, and overall, it just sounds wicked. So the sound system is great, and it is, I mean, one of my favorite features about this car. But these seats, of course, are also incredible. They are heated, ventilated, and of course, massaging. There is so much adjustability in them too. So I can go up onto the screen and basically adjust any part of the seat, the sides, the bottom, the front of it. So I can have some extended thigh support, the headrest, even this back part can come forward and back. Not the whole thing, obviously the whole thing can. And it's all up here with these beautiful crystal dials, which are elegant to touch and move around. And then you get all your window controls right here. So I can go ahead and click this, and it gives me a whole bunch of different options. But for example, I can close every single blind. So there's a ceiling blind, 2 rear blinds, and then one for the way back window. And it's just super cool. There's so much ability. I can also go into this button and basically do anything with all the doors, including opening all of them, closing all of them. And then this is also a beautiful Alcantara ceiling, super soft, just incredible. Leather here, leather going all the way down, even to the parts that you don't see. And here you got this nice wood. The piano black here is definitely a great contrast with these crystal dials. Wonderful armrest here. The center console isn't very big, but it's all right. You do get a button right here for the glove box. Not too big, but these door bins are kind of spacious, and they do go a little back. However, there is a problem that I'll talk about with that in a second. Underneath here, you do get an emergency latch. So if I were to not be able to open the door with all the electronic stuff, I'd pull this latch under here, pull it towards me, and it would be able to open. I can also control, obviously, all the windows, the trunk from here, and all that good stuff. And then really, it's just nice to sit here and just enjoy this car. The buttons on the steering wheel aren't too bad. They aren't those little touch-sensitive ones, so if you rub up against them slightly, they'll go off. You also, on the downshift paddle, if you hold it down, there'll be a boost function that turns on. You'll see on the paddle it actually says boost, so I'll show that on screen now, which is pretty cool. And let's talk about the infotainment, and then we'll head back to where you really want to be. These doors sound super solid as well. This car is just great. So we'll talk about down here. You got two cup holders right here with some ambient lighting, wireless phone charger, and then all of your main stuff down here. So you got your weird gear selector, up for reverse, down for drive, one up for neutral, and then down twice for sport mode, which isn't actually sport mode, it's a sportier gearbox. If you want to go to sport mode, however, you would click My Modes right here, and up on the screen that'd pull up a whole list of rows from personal, sport, efficient, expressive, relax, and they're all different. I really don't see a difference between any of them, just really sport mode. I'll keep it in personal for right now. Some of them will do some other things like turn the heated seats on or massage you if you want as well. Which, speaking of the seats, I will go into this button right here and you'll see a bunch of options right to do. So I could set the seat position, we'll go into the massage here, and I'll show you that there is so much here. I can change so I can turn it on, change the intensity, the speed, and there's all of these different massages that I can do. And that same goes for the passenger and, of course, the rear people sitting back there. And I can even control their seats by locking them so they can't move them. To here, and then you got all the stuff you can play around with in here. So, for example, the interior lighting, go into ambiance, and you can change the color to any of these 32 colors. Here's the actual number on screen, but I have it on indigo right now, and as you can see, it does just look gorgeous with the color running down the side panels, with it also being in the wonderful Bowers & Wilkins speaker, running all along the dash, to the sides, and of course, into the back, pretty much everywhere you can look. So we'll go and click on home here to go back, and then air conditioning settings all in here. Unfortunately, you do always have, no matter where you are, the temperature right here, but then you have to go into here if you want to adjust it more. That's the front of the car. Let's go ahead and start it up. I'll show you the exhaust, and we'll go and sit in the back. It does have a nice gargle to it. I'll say it's not a bad sounding car. The exhausts just don't look pretty. And before I jump into the back, I just have to talk about how easy it is to steer it. So this is my index finger. And we are at a full stop. This is a heavy car too. Let's see, even my pinky finger, with a good amount of force, can move the steering wheel around. It's so soft, just feels so good. So the first thing you are welcomed by, of course, in my opinion, is the wonderful screen that you see here on the door. Now this one is not optioned with the screen on the roof, but it is, however, optioned with another special package, which is the executive package plus the BMW individual interior and the luxury rear seating package. So we'll hop into here, and I can't be bothered to close the door, so I'll click this button right here. To which I am seated in a wonderful, wonderful position that is just excellent to sit in. You have these wonderful BMW headrests right here with the pillows on top of them. We'll go ahead and put the center armrest down with some storage under here, I believe. Not too much, but pretty good. You get a wireless phone charger. You also get a USB-C right there. Tons of leg room right here. Struggling for headroom, not too bad, about this much. Not great, but who cares? You're in a 760i. And it's a little too bright in here for my liking. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna swipe up on this panel. We're gonna go to blinds, and I'm gonna just click close all. And you'll see everything in this car will just close. Everything. So now we're in this beautiful dark cabin, and now you kind of can't see me. So I'm gonna go to the light setting on the screen here. We're gonna go to on, and that will turn these on right above me, so that way you should have a better view of seeing me. I can even make the color temperature more cool if I wanted to, or I can just have it a warm. Kind of cool how you can do that. Or I can even change the ambiance if I didn't like the blue, but frankly, I do. Another big thing back here, so just like up there, go into seats. We have all those wonderful massage functions, as you can see here. Tons of adjustment in the rear. So I'll go ahead and click 2, and you will see that it is slowly leaning me back, pushing me forward. It doesn't have the package where this seat will go totally forward and allow you to totally recline, but what it does have is just a position for you to enjoy it without disturbing anybody in the passenger seat. So let me talk a little more about it. So I have to say, obviously this car is meant for people who are going to be chauffeured and be driven around back here. The amount of customizability back here is just endless, and you can really make this car feel like you're in the driver's seat from all the way back here. I don't want to make it too long, as I've already talked about what the seats can do, but it is just truly an elegant place to be. It doesn't seem as insane as an S-Class, or not as bland as an Audi A8. It's kind of a sweet in-between. I can also have my cooled seat on and my heated seat on at the same time. But it's just nice to be back here. So it's just, this car, as I'm sitting back here playing around with my seat, there's not much I can really say about the back. You see it and you really get it all in, at least in person. The pillows are nice. Everything about it is just so nice. They even went as far as to put leather here, so that way you don't have to see the through-loading door. And honestly, BMW has always done the 7 Series right. This car is great, and you can't tell me otherwise. Let's talk about how it drives. Okay, so we are now driving around the car, and the first thing you notice is when we close the windows, how much quieter it gets in here. So the sound dampening is very nice. Of course, these windows are double paned, so that's nice. And smooth ride, right?
Yeah, smooth ride.
So very smooth, and
Air suspension.
Air suspension, just a good place to be. It's got some good pickup, fast, and yeah, we're gonna see what it's like for the next couple of hours. Alright, so we're now gonna go into my modes, sport, and let's see what it's got. This thing has some pickup.
Yeah, it does.
And as you can see right now, we're not on the best road, but we are on a closed road, and it's a bit bumpy, but definitely still nice and soft on the suspension. We'll go back into personal here, which is a little more soft, and going over those bumps right there, you can barely feel it. It's so smooth. And it's just doing a real nice job kind of keeping us level too with the air suspension. So I mean, we're going over a very bumpy road right now, and just perfectly dealing with all this. Can't even feel it. Very nice. So one of the other best things about this car is, like we just showed, sport mode. It can still be a fun car while still being very soft and a comfortable ride. Obviously that's its main focus, but it's got the V8 and it's a lot of fun to drive while also being very comfortable to drive. It's fun. It's got the best of both worlds almost. It's just great car, and right now we're in sport mode and I'm just watching the front here as we go over all the imperfections in the road. And we're able to just go nice and quick here. You can just float right over all of it. It's really impressive. All right, here we go. One more sport attack here. Oh, just so smooth. So now we are in the relaxed drive mode, and it closed all of the blinds in the car. So you can see everything back there is closed up. It softened the suspension, and we are just floating with the massaging seats on. It's just all super nice. And you were about to go over all this terrible road right here. And then right here, we have a little path of gravel. So we're gonna see how it does over this. We've got it in relaxed mode. Let's see how smooth it is. Oh, wow. Wow, this is smooth. And sitting inside of it right now, you can barely hear the gravel too, which is crazy. It's so smooth over such a rough surface. All right, so I've jumped into the back and I have my seat reclined just a tad. But as you can imagine, this is where you want to be. It feels even softer back here. I have tons of legroom, as I mentioned earlier. Headroom's fine. Just this is the spot right here. Oh, this is awesome. So I just went into the computer for the car. We've been driving for 2.5 hours, done 89 miles almost, and we've been averaging 27.4 miles per gallon, which is incredible for this big V8 that sits in front of us. And I think we're about to close in on the break-in period for this car. Let's go ahead and vehicle status. 10 miles, and then power will not be reduced anymore. So that's kind of cool. As I mentioned before, this has rear wheel steering. So here's the turning radius on the 7 Series. And the break-in period is gone. It's so smooth, you can barely feel it.
All right, so what's my verdict on the BMW 760i xDrive? I have to say, after making this video, it was a lot of fun being driven around in this 7 Series, and it's not the only BMW sedan I've been driven around. In fact, every single BMW sedan, the 3 Series, 4 Series, 5 Series, even the 6 Series, and of course the 7 Series, I have been driven in. And this, I have to say, was surprisingly probably my favorite. It really gathered all the things I look for in a sedan: performance, luxury, and of course, comfort, all into one vehicle. It's a boat that drives like a boat and is as smooth as a boat on crystal clear water. Now, if you're looking for something like this, comparing to an S-Class or an Audi A8, I'd honestly say to go with this one. It's just the best all around, and frankly, the performance on an Audi S8 might be better. The luxuriousness of an S-Class is definitely better. But then this combines those two into one car, and you can't go wrong with a BMW. So that's my video of the BMW 760i. I hope all of you watching enjoyed this video, and if you made it to this part of the video, thank you. And of course, I'd love it if you could subscribe. But if you don't worry about it. I'm just happy you watched the video and hopefully enjoyed it. But if you want to never miss out on another cool video like this one, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment on this video to show me all of your support. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Bye! Why is there so many